The Arab Spring dawned 2 years ago when a Tunisian street merchant set himself on fire to protest his country's corruption. His suicide sparked a nationwide uprising that toppled the government and spread across North Africa to Libya and Egypt. Today in Tunisia, 3 people died when a mob attacked the U.S. Embassy. Protesters got inside the compound and replaced the American flag with a black Islamist banner to show their anger over a film they say presents the Prophet Muhammad in a bad light. This week's deadly anti-American demonstrations have spread halfway around the world. In London, about 100 protesters showed up outside the U.S. Embassy to shout anti-American slogans and burn U.S. and Israeli flags. One person was killed in Tripoli, Lebanon, as demonstrators attacked a Hardee's and a Kentucky Fried Chicken. In Sudan, about 10,000 protesters rushed the British and German embassies. Some got into the German embassy before police forced them out with tear gas. Protesters clashed with police in Cairo for the 4th day in a row. No one at the Egyptian consulate in Houston would talk with us, but some Houstonians had plenty to say, including Dr. Ada Ahmad of Houston's Ahmadiyya Muslim community.
Majority of Muslims, and especially the Ahmadiyya Muslims, do not believe in any of what's going on, because this is a fringe few who have hijacked our religion, and we want to take it back.
One of the solutions, I think, is for America to have a larger presence over there. There's been a lot of genocide and violence by the government, and I really believe that they need our help to stop that and help the uprising or upspring that they were talking about that the Arabs weren't promised.
I think that if they're attacking Americans, we should take care of ourselves, and we should help them. We take care of ourselves. We take care of each other. So why don't they go in there and help the Americans that are still there?
Pope Benedict XVI arrived in Lebanon for a visit as protesters were trashing Colonel Sanders. The Pope called the Arab Spring a desire for more democracy and more cooperation. Maybe he should go out to get a bucket of chicken to see what democracy and cooperation looks like today. Bigger, faster, lighter, more powerful, better technology. Can't wait! Today is the day. The iPhone 5 will see the light. Apple announced the release of the new model of its smartphone in Steve Jobs fashion. Dude in tennis shoes, walking across the stage, big screens behind him, and a dark ambiance. You know the ritual.
iPhone 5. It is made entirely of glass and aluminum.
The new iPhone will hit the market in 10 days. You'll see the lines of geeks outside Apple stores. But is the iPhone still the sexiest gadget around?
I'm using a different phone, but definitely would love to have a look at the new iPhone.
I just feel like, it's the same phone, but different features.
I wouldn't upgrade right now because they're going to have a lot of kinks and bugs and whatnot that they don't have to take out. So I would wait.
It's only been 5 years since Apple transformed cell phones and our lives. Only 5 years. With the iPhone 5, however, CEO Tim Cook is trying to make sure the company has a bright future ahead. Google's Android operating system and Samsung's phones with wider screens are making competition tougher nowadays.
By making the screen taller but not wider, you can see more of your content but still comfortably use it with one hand.
The moral of the story? Innovation is not a one-night stand. His company's stock has plunged 50% in 4 months. It makes sense that Mark Zuckerberg might try to hide.
Where's Daddy? What? Where did you go? Oh, this is impossible.
But the Facebook Papa Bear came out of hibernation Tuesday. His message to investors:
there's no need to fear, underdog is here.
Zuckerberg may not have asked for his share price to slink on down from $38 to less than $20.
It's gonna be some kind of a record!
But he says being underestimated gives him room to make bigger bets, and he's not running from the challenge.
That we're going to execute this mission of making the world more open and connected, and we're going to do the things that we think are going to build value over the long term.
Zuckerberg also talked about changes to accommodate the mobile search and eventually building up Facebook's search capabilities to compete more with Google. He says he's not selling off any of his shares. Of course, oversharing is what Facebook's all about. Mark? Another day, another royal scandal. Just weeks after the world got a glimpse of Prince Harry's crown jewels, we're offered some more titillating photos. Guys, get ready, because this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Drop it, drop it. You got everybody in here. Oh my gosh.
Kate Middleton caught flashing her royal tatas? Please tell us this is just some Photoshop nightmare. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge sure wish it was. But this is the real deal, folks. Sneaky paparazzi scum snapped these candid photos of Kate and Will while on holiday in the south of France last week. The nudie pics were published in the French magazine Closer with a very fitting caption. Oh my God! You know the Queen's head has got to be spinning at this point. 2 nude photo scandals in 1 month? Oy vey! The royal palace went into immediate damage control mode, calling the publication of the pics a grotesque invasion of privacy. Nothing really grotesque about these photos, right guys? Hey look, we're sad this has happened to classy Kate, but this is nothing new for the royals. Last year, peeping Tom photogs snapped royal sis Pippa's bare boobs while she vacationed in Ibiza. And hotness definitely runs in that family. Kate's distant cousin, Katrina Darling, went topless for Playboy. Oh yeah! Some of you might even remember this shocking photo back in 1992. A topless Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, getting her toes sucked by a guy who was not the Duke. Ew, kind of gross. Speaking of gross, 91-year-old Prince Philip just recently went balls out at the gathering for the Highland Games in Scotland. Welcome to the family, Kate. When it's time to head to college, unless you live in River Oaks, you know you gotta get your hustle on. School costs can be a killer. That's why when one dude in Huntsville, Alabama was trying to figure out how to pay for grad school at Auburn, he started thinking outside the box, or inside the mailbox. See, Jonathan Hood paid for most of his $4,500 tuition this semester with mail-in rebates. How, you ask? Well, it wasn't doing what you're doing.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by.
Jonathan went hood with it and started trolling sites like fatwallet.com for deals where you buy something and then get the entire cost mailed back to you when you mail in the receipt. Free after rebate offers. He doesn't care what it is. He buys it on his 2% cashback credit card, sends in the rebate, and then turns around and sells the item on eBay for a little profit and waits for the rebate check or prepaid debit card.
Why are you making it complicated?
He says sometimes it takes up to 4.5 months, but because of it, his out-of-pocket expenses for college this month were only about $500. He's studying computer science and software engineering. Why waste his time with economics or finance, right? But you can bet if they had a class on hustle, Jonathan Hood would earn an honorary PhD. The Democrats are saying sorry for an oops at their convention.
American jobs all across America. Autos are back. Manufacturing is rebounding.
It's actually not even about that. It has to do with the warship imagery during a tribute to veterans. Those ships, yeah, those right there, are Soviet.
Oops.
The DNC attributes the mix-up to a vendor error. Remember that excuse next time you forget to buy eggs.
Idiot.
Anyway, as they say, no press is bad press. Dems use the boo-boo to swipe at the other side, pointing out that Mitt Romney didn't even mention veterans in his convention address. You want to know our take? It's time to get over this ship. You ready for this? Take a big gulp and say goodbye to the big gulp.
Hey, guys. Whoa, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
At least if you're in the Big Apple. New York City's Board of Health put it to a vote. Sugary drinks of more than 16 ounces can't be sold in restaurants and venues.
I can't believe this. I really can't.
The ban has been a big initiative by Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
New Yorkers, they're fat, okay? And they cannot choose a proper beverage.
Obviously, not all New Yorkers are fat, but the city spends a reported $4 billion a year on medical care for overweight people.
This is crazy.
Crazy, yes. But it's bursting the bubbles of big companies like McDonald's and Coca-Cola, who say the ban is misguided and arbitrary. Well, of course, they don't like it, but it's also creating a fountain of fears among consumers who worry the government is overstepping the freedom of choice boundary.
This This is insane.
Well, there's always refills.
My only job in life is to keep her off the pole.
Somehow the Canucks missed that memo. A British Columbia dance studio is actually encouraging girls, young girls, to get on the pole. They're offering pole dancing for kids. The instructor says her classes are about fitness and fun, not sex. That's what she said.
There's nothing provocative, there's nothing sexual about it. It's pure fitness and strength and fun. I mean, kids love climbing trees, they'll climb anything.
Keep telling yourself that, lady. Just hope your students don't climb into some guy's lap. Some cats love to play.
Patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can.
Some cats don't. But what do you do if you've got too much pussy and not enough people to play with it? You go online. Best Friend Animal Society in Los Angeles, California is going high-tech with this website. It allows people to log on and snoop in on cats via webcam. But users aren't just acting like Big Brother. They can participate. The camera zooms in and out and controls toys inside the room. And when the toys move, it's playtime. Users only get 2 minutes to play with the cats, but it's still a win-win for everyone. The cats get some exercise, and potential buyers can see the felines in action. Workers say since the cameras have been installed, they've seen adoption numbers rise. And good news for pups. The adoption agency says their next step might be getting something similar for dogs. Sounds like the good news has some at a loss for words.
Let's talk about your forecast right now. We are going to start with, we got them all up. Solano County, El Dorado County, and Sacramento County. A little bit of haze out there, but for the most part, sunny skies today. And here's a live look over downtown. You can see current conditions right now in the mid-80s overall. There they are, 87 in Sacramento, 85 for Stockton, Modesto, 79 in Fairfield, Blue Canyon right now, 75 degrees. All right, let's take a look at some other current conditions just a little bit farther north for all of our friends in Redding and Chico. 92 right now, 84 in Chico, 87 for Willows. Loma Rica right now, 82 degrees, 72 for Portola. All right, now let's take a look at those highs today. Just about where we were yesterday. In some spots we dropped a little bit. In some spots we did see those temperatures come up. Sacramento actually up a degree or two. Certainly didn't feel like it though. That was specifically to downtown. Outlying areas only in the upper 80s. So that temperature just a little bit warmer than it probably felt where you were at. 85 in Stockton, 86 in Modesto today, 78 for South Lake Tahoe. Those winds, here we are at about 550, and you can see they're moving. It is a Delta breeze, and it is going to cool things down. So open up the windows tonight, cool everything down, no problems with that. As we jump ahead then to tomorrow, this is tomorrow afternoon at about 450. Look at that. The Delta breeze, it stays with us. It'll probably weaken a little bit during the day and then pick up once again. So that means we're just going to continue to see this trend. So if you want to open up those windows tonight, give that AC a break. As I mentioned, those winds up to 15 miles an hour, but we could see gusts to 20. So it should be just enough to really help you cool things down. In fact, tomorrow morning as you head out early, you may need a sweatshirt or a light jacket. It's probably going to be pretty cool. Area of low pressure just off the coast. It will slowly make its way towards the coast, moving inland by the weekend, maybe bringing a chance of showers to the higher elevations. Right now, it looks like the valley will stay dry, but we're definitely going to see those temperatures drop. For tomorrow, we're going with low to mid 80s and similar conditions for Thursday. Thursday, I think, however, may be a bit warmer, the same for Friday. And then as that low moves in for the weekend, we'll cool things down even more. So in Redding tomorrow, we'll go with a 94, plenty of sunshine as you get away from that Delta breeze. It's going to be a little bit warmer. 90 in Chico with plenty of sunshine with southerly winds only to 10 miles an hour. The rest of the forecast area from the Bay Area all the way to the Sierra will be cool. A lot of cloud cover along the coast with those winds. As I mentioned, they will diminish a little bit during the day and then pick up by tomorrow evening. Here is that 7-day forecast, and you can see we'll just continue to cool it down over the next couple days, and tomorrow will be 86, not 96.
And here, there's yet another effect of postpartum depression. It will stunt your child's growth. Researchers from Johns Hopkins School of Public Health in Baltimore found that kids around age 4 with mothers who reported being depressed after giving birth were more than 40% more likely to be short.
There are many determinants of height in children: how tall the parents are, how good the child's nutrition is. There are a number of factors, and it's unlikely that maternal depression alone will significantly affect a child's height.
One possible explanation for the link is that some children may also be depressed, which can affect the endocrine system and could disrupt the production of growth hormones.
If that depression leads to giving the child poor nutrition or not nurturing the child emotionally, yes, it's possible that it could affect the child's height adversely.
If you're not happy with your height, don't blame your mother just 'cause. Nearly 1 out of every 5 mothers in the U.S. has postpartum depression, which, according to previous studies, is associated with language and cognitive delays and behavioral problems in children, as well as a difficulty in mother-child bonding.
I wasn't playing with the baby like I should, and I just wanted to crawl in a deep hole, and I wasn't enjoying my child, and my family life was bad too. My relationship with my husband was off.
So, if you feel down, ask for help. Otherwise, you may keep your family down with you. Denver Bronco fans have Manning fever over their team's new QB, Peyton. And this kid is probably Manning's biggest fan.
Peyton Manning's been my favorite football player for a long time.
He's only 8, but Connor Vanetta says he knows who his hero is and proudly wore Peyton Manning's number 18 jersey to school.
He told me I couldn't wear 18 anymore because it's a gang number and I had to take it off.
Yep, you heard him right. According to the Weld County School District, 50 miles north of Denver, the number 18 is considered to be part of gang culture and is banned inside the classroom. Officials say the ban on the number 18 has been around for years and has nothing to do with Peyton Manning.
You think?
In gangland, 18 stands for the 18th Street Gang of Los Angeles. Seriously? It's not even a gang in Denver.
We do try to really discourage and take a strong stance on any sort of clothing or display of gang-affiliated material or signage.
Wait a minute. Is this guy serious? The kid is 8 years old and in 3rd grade. What kind of rule is banning so-called gang wardrobe in elementary schools? Plus, we doubt a lot of gangsters would want to wear a Manning jersey to show their gang affiliation. Manning is the most lily-white athlete around.
Doesn't make really a lot of sense.
It doesn't make sense to us either, buddy. But for some reason, it makes sense to school officials.
We're Broncos fans ourselves, so it's not anything to do with that. It's just wanting to set a consistent, solid example.
Oh yeah, you're really setting an example with this kid. He definitely looks like he might be a gangster.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
The fallout for Lance Armstrong continues. News out of Chicago that the 7-time Tour de France winner will be banned from running the Chicago Marathon. Turns out that penalties imposed against him from the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency extend beyond cycling and include any and all sports that are signatories of the World Anti-Doping Code. That includes the Chicago, Boston, and New York marathons. And while Lance hasn't submitted a formal entry for any of the races so far this year, he has run them in the past, and his cancer charity, the Live Strong organization, had suggested he might consider running again this year on their behalf. But marathon officials said, no way. Lance hasn't responded directly to race organizers' outward declaration that he be prohibited from entering, though he left this message on Live Strong's YouTube page.
It's been an interesting few days, challenging at times for myself, my family, my foundation. It's time to move forward. It's time to talk about a different fight.
In the end, it was his decision not to fight the U.S. ADA's charges against him that led to all this in the first place. And as so, the Live Strong Foundation will have some 250 participants in the Chicago Marathon. The man himself will not be one of them. But don't count the boss out just yet. The Alpine Odyssey mountain bike race in Crested Butte, Colorado has decided to run unsanctioned this year, just so Lance could ride. He won the Alpine Marathon last year, and promoters want to show their support for the man, steroids or not.
Let's start with the Giants ball game. Last night against the Colorado Rockies at AT&T, it's another San Francisco win, one step closer to clinching a playoff spot. Hey, listen, I said more than 2 weeks ago that race is over. The Dodgers are not going to catch the Giants. They're in. especially as long as they keep winning. That's Hunter Pence. That turned out to be the game-winning RBI. Madison Bumgarner, pretty good as the starter. They used like 4 or 5 relievers in that game last night. Sergio Romo finished it, striking out Jason Giambi. There's your final. 2-1 Giants beat Colorado. All right, let's talk a little Mountain Lions football. They are signing players. I got that word yesterday from the team. Most of the guys are supposed to be in town today. They hope to practice on Wednesday. They have a game, remember, on the 28th of this month, so not a lot of time to get ready. Their quarterback could well be this guy. He wore number 1 for the 49ers during the preseason. Also played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Josh Johnson. And he's got some talent. I mean, you can see he can run the ball, and he's also pretty good at throwing it. I think he started 5-6 games for Tampa in the 3 years he was there. Now, this is not a done deal yet. It is not a confirmed signing. But from what I understand, Josh Johnson almost certainly will sign a contract with the Mountain Lions, and he could well be their quarterback on that opening day.
Old ladies are supposed to be the pushy ones.
Move the hell out the way!
It's definitely not supposed to be the other way around, especially when a police officer is the one doing the pushing. Check it out.
Hello, Sergeant Gahabe, Keene Police Department.
A routine traffic stop in Keene near Fort Worth started fine, but then headed south. The officer's dash and chest cam caught it all.
All right, let's hurry up. I've got to go to the bathroom.
Let me see your driver license and insurance, please.
I have a bladder infection.
Let me see your driver license and insurance, please.
Well, you listen to me.
No, I want to see your driver license and insurance, please. Then I'll listen to you.
Why? Why are you going to wait?
I'm going to write. Let me see your driver license.
I'll give it to you in a minute.
No, you give it to me now. I'm going to take you to jail.
Well, go ahead.
Lynn Bedford is 77 years old. Watch what happens next.
Step out of the vehicle.
You are hurting me.
Get out of the vehicle.
I'm going to report you hurted me.
Okay, step out of the vehicle.
My arm.
You're under arrest.
Needless to say, Bedford has hired an attorney. But the Keene Police Department is standing by their man, saying the officer didn't violate any laws or policies. Apparently, there's nothing on the books about being a jerk. Anyway, the chief showed at the scene.
I never thought I'd be treated like this.
Bedford was let go with a citation, but she ultimately picked up national sympathy, too.